Hello, I'm Nikki Thompson with the Colorado Urban Living Team, and we are here for another episode of Table Talk Tuesdays. And we're located in Remax Alliance here in Old Town Arvada. So there might be some trains and some automobiles going by. Just ignore the sound, but it's what we deal with every day and we love it. I have a special guest here to introduce you to. This is Richard Ybarra, and he's with F45 Training. And they actually have 2 locations that are up and going and one that's coming. So it's very exciting. So I'm going to have you introduce a little bit about what your role is with F45 and kind of talk about that.
Sure. So I am the regional manager of the 3 locations, like 2 soon to be 3. And so I deal with the sales and the running of the business, but I also coach classes as well. So.
Right. I was not familiar with the whole training and what F45 was all about. When I started, Richard was actually the reason why I went. He was our ray of sunshine. He was just this bright light that when you walked in, you felt special instantly. And he just made you feel like you should be there. And so it was just wonderful working with Richard. So I brought him today to talk about not only F45 training and how special it is and how it's growing, but also his ability to build quality relationships. You have that really trusting personality and that unique quality that draws people in. And so I just wanted to kind of have him talk about the master of his craft and how he's gotten there and how he's kind of built his business with it. Do you want to start with all that?
I got you fooled. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
But from a relationship standpoint, I think it's first and foremost important to realize that everybody has their own background and their own experience, right? So the second that a new person walks in the door, that's the first thing that goes through my mind. What prompted them? What got them off the couch to come in here today and try something new? And to me, it's super important to think, to not assume, but to think they could have been sedentary for the last, 5 years. They could have done CrossFit for the past 6 years, so you never know what someone's previous experience has been until you kind of get to know them. So that's a big kind of part of how I kind of tap into that. And I basically take it square one, same square with every single person, and try to be that genuine, have fun, lighthearted personality, and really make them feel welcome. Think about being in their shoes and be like, if I was coming into a new class, what would I want? Pay attention to those small details. So those kind of some big.
Yeah. And not only with just the new members, you have a special relationship. He is so good with long-term membership. There's not a lot of turnover within F45. I feel like you have the longevity of members, and it's because of who you are and what you bring every single day.
Yeah, because it does. The F45 is a franchise, and so that you could go down to an F45 down the street and it would be a completely different team and run by a completely different group of people. And I think it does have to do with the staff and the people who are there every day and people who are personable and easy to relate to, and who you can laugh with, you can be your true authentic self. And that was a big step for me is if you show 60% of your authentic self to somebody, that's how much you're going to get back, right?
True.
So if I am 100% authentic myself and crazy and jumping around and laughing and poking fun and
love it.
then that's what people are gonna feel comfortable in their own skin if you do as well. So
the shoulders drop.
Yeah,
just kind of relax. Yes, right.
Lifted,
It is.
Yeah.
So there was something that drew you to the F45 program in itself. So not just the people individually, but you chose to be a part of this organization and the workout and the routine. What is it that you like about F45, the routine itself and what it brings to its members?
What I love about F45 is it is accessible to any fitness level. Joe Schmo can walk in off the street and get a great workout. We have people anywhere from, collegiate athletes that want to come in there and like die and crush it and sweat out crazy, like go all out. And then, we have like the 70-year-old grandma that comes in and just wants to move properly and wants to know that she's in a safe space. And we may have to modify like 4 or 5 of the moves and make sure that those moves make sense to her. But regardless of where you're at in your fitness journey or wherever you're at physically, you can come in and feel comfortable and still leave feeling like you got a great workout. So it's huge.
Two things that I loved about F45. First one is I've had 3 knee surgeries and a severed Achilles. So for me, it was baby steps getting involved. And by the time, I think it was within 3 months, I was actually doing box jumps and they told me I was never going to jump again. So it was baby steps, and Richard modified my workout so that I could get there. But then the second thing they offer is just the monitoring. So you have the heart monitor and you can watch yourself up on the board. And then when you get to know the members, you start to compete just a little bit on who.
Totally. So fun.
It's so fun. But then I know how many calories I've burned and everything. And then when Ryan would go to a different workout that day, my husband, and we would, compare, I burned this many calories, and he always beat me. But maybe once or twice. Yeah.
You're like, Richard, I want to be Ryan today. So
what did he get?
Push me. Yeah.
So Richard has just been wonderful and a breath of fresh air. And when you're not sure you want to get up, or the day's been long and you were going to go to the afternoon workout, you are the reason, I think, and Chen and your staff and all of your coaches, that people come, because they're like, 1, they're going to hold me accountable. But 2, I just need that to be uplifted. You guys are so good at that. So what is what do you do to keep yourself positive, to keep your joy? How do you fill your spirit?
I think a big part of it is surrounding yourself with other people who are positive and who are like-minded and have the same, goals as you do. Like you were saying, some mornings I'm like, oh man, it's so early. I need to get out of bed. And then immediately I'm sitting there thinking what would Jodi do? Get out of bed right now. That kind of thing. So that is a huge part for me, is really just surrounding yourself with that atmosphere of people who you can count on. And sometimes if I'm really, I'm there are days, yes, that I don't want to go work out, and that day I might just be like, Nikki, tell me to go work out, and I'll just text you or something. And it's that kind of a accountability, I guess. And really, honestly, I just think about I never leave a workout feeling worse than I did when I came in. I always feel so much better, and that's what, in my mind, that's what I have to think about, is the aftermath of it. But then while you're doing it, you also are having so much fun, and you get to challenge yourself and grow.
Yeah.
So
I feel that COVID with gyms and F45, you guys really had to work hard and reinvent the business model this year. It's been tough. And I think what you just said about surrounding yourself with people that get you through those hard times was more important than ever this year to push through. And you guys actually did really well during COVID, right? Just with even workouts at home. I mean, you guys really took it to the next level.
Yeah.
So what was the mindset? What were your team meetings like in the background for all of that?
Yeah. Well, so we went completely virtual. And so it was so funny. I remember the first day that we did a test workout, and we just recorded it because we were we want to see what tested out before we go live,
Right.
And Chin and I were like, this is so weird not having anybody else here. Like the energy is a completely different dynamic.
That's true.
And so it was definitely an adjustment getting used to. But once we got to the point where honestly, like the biggest help was going live and having people on Zoom or on our Facebook Live stream commenting and interacting with us, because that gave us like, okay, we're going to feed off of this energy. Like we feed off you guys, you feed off of us. And so it was such a great, it was just a great balance of back and forth, sharing of energy and helping each other, you know, get through a set or whatever, you know. Chin and I came in literally seven days a week at 9 a.m. every single day, like for the first 3 or 4 months, and then we, you know, incorporated other trainers and stuff. But and that was like super challenging. It was like Groundhog Day, like like so many people can say during the quarantine and everything. And so it was honestly, that was probably like my saving grace during quarantine, because that was something I looked forward to, like getting out of the house, and it's part of a routine. Seeing another face. Chin and Brian, the owner, would come every once in a while and like work out in the background, or he would come and we would like powwow before. So it was not only the, you know, interaction with the members virtually, but also just being able to like physically be with other people, you know, so outside of your household. So that was huge.
Well, and it was fun because you were watching everyone work out, and sometimes their kids were with them and their dogs were in the background and
doing burpees or jumps together. Like,
it completely motivated you. But I will say, I think one of the things that our culture's kind of gone to is more of the Zoom and the virtual, and more people staying at home. And I feel coming out of it, as things start to release a little bit, now more than ever, we need to be out. Like it's time to get back into those things. Don't you feel like it's, and you guys still offer a virtual option, right? With everything. Okay. And then, so you have this leadership team, and how do you, as a leader, kind of motivate everybody and keep, like, trickle that leadership down? And are you guys hiring right now with your new opening out?
Yeah.
So they're in Arvada West area, which is 64th and
in Gardenia, technically. It's a kind of catty corner from the YMCA.
Right.
And then our second location is Central Park, previously known Stapleton. And then third one is going to be Southglenn. So that's going to be like northeast Aurora.
Okay.
And so there's a big, huge outdoor mall out there. That's where we're kind of opening location number 3. Yeah.
And then your team is growing, and everyone's back in.
So we are hiring for that third location, and right now, because of classes ramping back up and class sizes, we are looking to add a couple more coaches to the already open the Arvada and the Central Park locations, just because we want to make sure and provide that, you know, quality experience for everyone that walks in the doors. And if you have a class of 20 people, then sometimes, you know, one coach running the whole show, it gets a little overwhelming. And if you have one new person walk in, then it's like you gotta really focus and make sure that they feel welcome, but you also want to continue to take care of the rest of the crew. So so hiring right now, and probably looking for 2 people at both locations. And I just feel like the bigger classes that we have during the week and the weekends. So
with our topic being Tabletop Tuesday, I was curious as to if you could have anyone sitting at your kitchen table and you could have a conversation like we're having today, who would you want to sit with at your kitchen table?
Oh boy. This was the one question that I was like, I hope she doesn't ask this, because I don't know.
That's the best one.
Okay, my first instinct, which is like, I don't know, I would say is RuPaul, because she's a drag queen, and she like came through the whole, she is like the front runner of the whole movement. And so it would be really interesting to see, kind of pick her brain of how she came from square one, I think.
What question would you ask her?
I don't know. I think like probably some similar stuff as to like what we've talked about, like what were like some of her biggest challenges, or maybe what is like her favorite part about doing what she does and holding TV shows and all the seasons and all this stuff. I don't know.
I can see that because Richard, he is all about social media. So you will see him posting and showing video of everyone in their workout, and it gets you if you didn't go in the morning, like you're wanting to go by the afternoon because you've seen and you're like, okay, I'm coming.
All the videos and make sure everyone knows what to expect when they walk in. Yeah.
So I can see that whole like TV and definitely in your realm.
The production side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to share with everybody about F45, about you, about leadership, about building relationships that you're so good at?
I don't know. I think the biggest thing that I guess I would leave you with is that, the whole give 100% of you and authentically be you, and that's what you're going to get from other people, so don't I've learned that like growing up, and you see these relationships of like cousins or family and things like that, and you get out of it what you put into it, and I don't know.
We were at the RE/MAX convention just this last week, and it was real interesting because Dave Ramsey talked about the difference between buffaloes and cows as a storm comes in, and how cows react and how the buffaloes react with it. And buffaloes charge through the storm. They grab their herd, they come out, they're going through the storm with the less amount, and the cows either lay down, which most cows do, or they go find the tree and where the lightning comes down, or they scatter and they get lost. So when the storm comes through, they've just been kind of beat to hell, if you will, or are no longer with us, or they're disoriented and they can't even find where they started with, So when they ask you, who's in your herd? Who are you? And when the storms come through, because they're going to come, right? Our storms are going to come through, whether they're big or small. But they ask you, who's in your herd? And Richard is one that I would always say is in my herd. He motivates me. He makes me a better person. I know that I need him in my life for health reasons and for positivity. And so I just wanted to say thank you for being in my buffalo herd, my friend. And with that, I think that's all for Table Talk Tuesday. So thanks for joining in, and we'll see you next time.